go ahead and start the meeting. I'm sure we'll have others start to add on. But since we have a full schedule and we have bingo today, I think we should go ahead and get started. First of all, I want to welcome everybody to the June virtual First Friday meeting. It's June 5th, which is so hard to believe. This is my last First Friday to lead. And I just want to say, I don't know where this year went, but it zoomed by. And who would ever thought we'd all be meeting this way today? But anyway, I'm glad you're all here. And just for your information, we are recording today's meeting. And we look forward for you to look at the recording. If you want to go back and look, it'll be on the Upland Chamber YouTube channel called June 1st Friday, and it's going to be sponsored by our sponsor today, Inland Productivity Solutions. So look for that after the meeting today. When will that be up? Do you know, Eric? Oh, you're muted.
Actually, Terry,
it will probably be up tomorrow.
Okay, all right. Sure. So if you have to leave early, you can see the remaining of bingo this afternoon or tomorrow. All right. Also, I want to remind everybody to use the Shop Upland app. There's over 80 offers being offered, 80 offers being offered, and over 300 businesses are listed on the app. We are encouraging our consumers to start their holiday shopping early, local in Upland. Check out your Father's Day and 4th of July specials and follow Shop Upland on our social media accounts. All right, I want to recognize our dignitaries that are here today and our guests for the day. I'd like to start out with Mayor Debbie Stone. Welcome, Debbie.
Good morning, everyone.
Thank you for being here with us today. We know it's been a crazy busy week for you, and we appreciate you supporting us and supporting our city. Thank you.
Absolutely. Well, you guys are our lifeline, and if we don't have you, we don't have anything. So keep up the good work, and you guys just all be safe.
Thank you. Thank you. And our next guest is Michael Miller from San Bernardino County Kurt Hagman's office. Michael, are you here? I can't see you, but I know you're here.
Yeah, hi,
welcome.
Terry, I'm here.
Do you have any words to say to us today from the county?
No, we were talking when I first got on, just saying, you know, we're still learning things every day about where the phases and the reopening plan is going, and we're getting more information from the governor's office, literally like every hour, it seems like. So, you know, definitely gonna have some things coming up. Hopefully there's some rumors of some things maybe this weekend, but we'll see if that materializes or not. And then also, our office is trying to get back into the swing of things. So we are currently working with Rosemary to do a drive-through shredding event so that people can get rid of some shredding. So our last one had to get canceled because of, you know, COVID and everyone needing to stay home. So we thought, why not bring it right back to Upland and do something, you know, that's social distancing and still allows people to clean out their house. So that's all I have.
Perfect. Thank you. And I'd also like to recognize all our board of directors and ambassadors who are meeting here behind the scenes. Thank you so much for all your support, your efforts, and for all you do for the chamber and for our membership. We surely appreciate you, even behind the scenes. Thank you. Okay, also the chamber staff is requesting that you send them your business marketing video so that we can put it up on the chamber website. It needs to be a YouTube link attached to the video. So if you have a nice video you'd like to send out to the chamber, please do so in the next few weeks, and we'll get that up for you for doing some more additional marketing for you during this time. Thank you. And now I'd like to pass everything over to Dory, who's going to give us a quick advocacy report.
Hey everybody, Dory. Good morning. Our EDF-GRF meeting will be on Thursday, June 11th at 8 a.m. We will send out an email blast with the Zoom ID. All legislative announcements and support during the COVID-19 are located on the homepage of the chamber website. So go on there. It's really informative. It gives you all kinds of information about what's going on in our county, our city, and what you need to do to get COVID compliant. And if you have not applied for that grant through the county, you need to do that. It's $2,500. Be COVID compliant. You have to have less than, what is it, 100 or 500 employees?
100.
100.
100.
Less than 100 employees. So get on there and do that. And I'll just roll right into it. I'm going to roll into our Chairman Circle members. Again, that is an investment into your business in relation to the chamber, and it's $1,500. Use it throughout the year for sponsorships. And let me just announce our chamber Chairman Circle members. We have Casa Colina Hospital and Centers for Healthcare, Holiday Rock, Vertec Waste Industries, Doubletree by Hilton Claremont, Assistance Insurance Agency, Inland Productivity Solutions, Moga Law Firm. And I'm sure Inland Productivity Solutions used some of that Chairman Circle money to sponsor today. So see, you could do that yourself. So anyway, Moga Law Firm, Ontario International Airport, Care for Women's Medical Group, La Via Bella at San Antonio, Wright Family Trust, Chino Commercial Bank, Cornerstone Commercial and Personal Insurance Services, Langwasser and Company, Inc. CPAs, Cutting Edge Builders, Family Foot Center Podiatry Center, Upland Autocraft, Uptown Autocraft, Carden Arbor View School, Upland Collision Craft, Sinorama Ontario, Right at Home In-Home Care, Homebridge Financial Services, Banner Bank, Kessler Allaire Insurance, American Financial Network, Main Street Garage, The Image Emporium, David Garthwaite, Hopper's Office Furniture, I see Mark out there, Southern California Edison, Inland Valley Recovery Services, Verve Weight Loss and Laser Aesthetics, Red Hill Plaza, the Fairplex, and Bridge Development Partners. My gosh, we have a lot of Chairman Circle members. Thank you so much for being Chairman Circle members. Oh, anyone interested in learning to be part of that, contact Terry and she'll explain how to make that happen.
All right. Thank you, Dory. Next up, our sponsor today is Inland Productivity Solutions, Eric Hanson, and we're going to let him say a few words this morning. Caitlin, I understand you're going to host a presentation for Eric. You all set?
All right. So, we're going to try and get through as much of this as possible as we prepare for re-entry to work. There's things to think about that maybe have not been focused on. So most of you know who we are. We've been in the area since 1988 doing IT services, and we've been an Upland Chamber member since 2004. We specialize in managed services, networking, security, and data protection. And if you know anybody who needs some help, or you need some help after you listen to some of this, go ahead and reach out to us. First, want to cover, I worked in conjunction with an associate of mine in New York that had to do a presentation like this, or did a presentation like this for their chamber. They did their presentation a week ago. We started working on this 2 weeks ago. So when we started working, I went and captured some data. So on the 19th, here's where we were. 3,600 confirmed cases. Here's where we were yesterday. 5,600 cases. The doubling time has increased, which is what we want to see. And then total deaths, 2 weeks ago, 155, yesterday, 209. So this thing has not gone away. Fatality rate's gone down, but it hasn't gone away. So as we prepare for re-entry, we want to be thinking about how do we move forward and be prepared to step back if we bring people back to the office. So, I think most of us are pretty well versed in what the stages are. We're late stage 2, hopefully, and hopefully we continue to progress, but that may go backwards. Hopefully not. And what we want to talk about is, what things do we need to talk about with your business potentially staying remote? How does business change? What does reopening your business look like? Is it gradual? And then how do you need to manage and run the business technology? The reality is this is a whole new ball game, and with what we do, we've seen gigantic changes in how people are approaching things. So what aspects of your business are going to remain remote, and how do we adapt your technology support to support those remote workers the right way? So, there's some upsides to people working from home long term. I think what we're going to see in our business, it looks like probably we're only going to have 1 or 2 people come into the office on any given day. The way we're handling it right now is one day a week, one person other than myself comes into the office. And we just rotate through so that everybody's been in. Nice things about having people work from home, if it's working for them, is you can potentially reduce that office space, reduce that cost. And if it makes your employees happy and they're getting more done for you, that's a good thing. But figuring out how you measure their productivity is difficult. The reality is that we all rushed into this. Holy smoke, everybody's got to work from home. And oh, by the way, whoever your IT provider is, figure this out like today for everybody that you support. It was a challenge, and probably some things got missed. Certainly things could have been done better with more of a security focus, and I'll talk about that a little bit more. And then people having proper equipment when they're at home. And then how do you tweak your company policies so that you are doing a better job of ensuring that your corporate policy is accurate for the environment that you're now working in. So working on that work from home policy, where is it acceptable to work? Who can work from home? If you're in manufacturing, you can't work from home. That doesn't work. But there are people who probably through this in your organization, you've recognized don't work well from home. They need the structure of going to an office. They need to leave their house to do it. I recognize that I'm one of those people. I have the self-awareness to recognize I need to go to the office or I'm not going to get anything done because there's too many other distractions if I'm sitting at home. How are you going to measure productivity? It's going to be difficult. I will tell you. So what are your attendance and availability standards? How does everybody check in? If when everybody's coming to an office and everybody's there at 8 or 8:30 or 9 or whatever time you start up, you see them show up. You say hi. Can you do that in a virtual environment? I'll tell you, our team actually does a really good job of that. I would say we do a better job now of saying good morning and good night to everybody than we did when we were working in the office. But making sure people show up and are present is a little bit of a challenge. So use the tools. If you're an Office 365 user, you have Microsoft Teams. That's included. If you don't know how to use it, reach out. We can help you set a team up and teach you how to use it. And how do you communicate and collaborate? Our policy is we use Teams internally. And it's a cameras on phone call, always. While Teams will let you do just an audio version, we always say cameras on, show up. So that's how we're doing our collaboration. And then how do your remote users access IT support? If you have an outsourced IT company, typically you have 1 or 2 key contacts that contact that IT company. And they're kind of the IT company's filter for, somebody goes to the normal contact and says, hey, my printer doesn't work. Oh, well, let me go look at that before we contact the IT company. That may not happen anymore. And for us as IT providers, it's a lot more difficult because we have a lot less control over what equipment is at your employee's home. In a lot of cases, people are using stuff that we would no longer support. They have a Windows 7 machine at home that they're using to remote into their desktop at work because that was the holy smoke, I got to send everybody home plan. But now we need to come back and make all that stuff work. We typically would not support your home network except in very specific situations. And we probably reconfigured hundreds of home networks in the first week that we went into this. So we as IT service providers have had to adapt significantly in how we do things too. So making sure people have the right stuff at home. You know, they're at the office, they've got a pair of 24-inch monitors on their desk. They're, you know, we did that for productivity reasons. Probably started doing it in earnest about 10 years ago. But somebody at home, well, great, they're staring at a 13-inch laptop screen. They're not near as efficient as they were when they had those two screens and, you know, had multiple applications up, getting through their daily work. So home computer use, you know, using a home machine, telecommuting to the office, there are a whole set of security challenges around that. That machine is probably also used by other people in the home. You know, the kids are doing their homework on it. The significant others using it to do whatever they do. And they're all logging into that machine with the same account. That's just security no-no. And then what's your employee going to do? Well, they're going to save that icon on the desktop to connect to their work computer and do everything they can do to minimize the amount of work they have to do to get into their work stuff. They're going to do saved passwords and all things that in a corporate environment, we can control that and say, yeah, okay, you can have the icon on there to connect, but you're still going to have to authenticate. But we don't have that control, and you know, due to privacy considerations, that's not your asset as a business owner. That's your employee's asset. For the same reason, you can't just, oh, well, that employee left or we fired that person, remotely wipe their phone. Whoa, we can't do that. Because if we remotely wipe their phone and delete the last 4 years of their kids' pictures, you're going to have a lawsuit on your hands. So there's a lot for us to think about as we've moved people into this environment. Making sure that their machine has a reasonable antivirus and malware protection. Well, remember, it's not your asset anymore. How do you do that? And making sure that that thing is complete and up to date. Like I said, we've had people show up with Windows 7 machines. We've actually seen some stuff older than that people have at home that they're trying to connect to their office networks with. And long term, that's a major security problem. And kind of already covered this. When the person at home's not using that machine, who else is using that machine, and do they potentially get access to your corporate network? One of the things that is really important to move people towards is using multi-factor authentication. This is one of the ways we can make that home machine a little, or at least the exposure presented by the home machine, a little bit better. So I know I've mentioned it before, but multi-factor authentication is something you have, something you know. So the connection, your password, and then something you are, meaning your phone. Typically, it ends up on your cell phone, the multi-factor authentication, you know, and I know it's a hassle, but get over it. It's the world we live in today. Usernames and passwords are compromised every day because people tend to do things that are easy for them, not necessarily good for security. There's lots of different ways to do multi-factor authentication, and your IT service company should be able to talk to you about this and what works best for you. So things to think about are, what does your remote business model look like? What do you need to do to keep vital stuff moving forward and on time? Our accounts payable and those sorts of things happening on time. And how do your line of business software work? You know, for those of you who have line of business software that sits in the office, there's some architectural changes potentially that need to change if you're going to have people permanently working remotely. And then how does your team share stuff back and forth? Are they using Microsoft SharePoint? Are they using Google Drive? Are they emailing stuff insecurely? And then what collaboration tools can you use to improve their productivity? Teams is a very common one. You've probably seen tons of TV ads. Slack. There's a lot of different tools in this space, but most people have Office 365, so they have Teams, which is included. Hey there, Santo. All right. So how do you reopen gradually and ramp up over time? Think about what you got to do to open the physical office. I'm going to go ahead and end this after this slide. And we'll do add a recording on here to the end of the chambers chambers meeting, so that you can see the rest of this presentation if you're interested. So, you know, cleaning up the office, do a thorough cleaning. For shared workspaces, if you have people who share computers, there are things you need to be thinking about, whether that's swapping out keyboards and mice and other interface devices, or splitting them up to different workstations. You know, making sure that you have your social distancing, those sorts of things. Traffic flow patterns, depending on what your office looks like. You know, do you have a one-way path in your office? And establish guidelines for how you do your group meetings. One of the things that we've actually started selling is the Owl Cam that allows you to do a big meeting, and it rotates the focus to whoever the speaker is. Pretty cool thing. If you have an office space that's large enough to allow you to have maybe some sort of in-person meetings, but you still need to have somebody participating on these, we have a camera that sits in the middle of our conference table that can see the whole room all at the same time. And then the other thing to think about is, if this goes the wrong way, how do we roll back to everybody's working remotely, and what does that look like? That is a very real consideration, whether we have a second wave in the fall. Hopefully we don't have one. I ain't holding my breath. But what does that look like, and how do we approach this, retaining security and keeping your employees safe? So with that, I'm going to turn it back to the chamber. Thanks for your attention, and I will unshare here.
So I want to give a quick shout out to the Ambassador of the Year, Tamara Martin from Oakmont, San Antonio Heights. And I'm going to go ahead and announce the new members from May. We had 2 new members. We had the Cucamonga Valley Water District, and we had Western Christian Schools. So we want to thank them for joining the chamber this month, or this past month. And Terry's going to go ahead and do the renewing members.
All right. I'm excited to say we have quite a few renewing members, so thank you. So a shout out, I know a couple of you are here today. Goes out to Air Sea Travel. I know Teresa's here. We have Bellevue Memorial Park, Crystal Clear Images. I have Aaron here. Outback Steakhouse, the Image Emporium. David Garthway is here today. Feeling Lucky Entertainment, Aaron. Homebridge Financial Services, Dave Powers. House of Root, JR Window and Door. Kids Sports News Network, LRG Motors, Moxie Creative Solutions, Odin Marketing. I know Josiah's here today. Rancho Cucamonga Optometric Center, Dr. Bob. Southland Data Processing, Upland Community Foundation, and Whole Foods Market 365. So again, congratulations and thank you for renewing in the Upland Chamber. Yay. Terri DiMarco, back to you.
Unmute here. All right. Well, again, thank you for your renewals. And again, if you know anybody else who needs to help support their business and, you know, join a great marketing group like ourselves, go ahead and please pass them on to Terry or to Dory for Chamber Circle, or to Caitlin in the office. We're all here to support all of our businesses and community members, and we'd love to support by having some new members on board. Thank you. All right. We are now, of course, all our meetings right now are on Zoom until things change up a little bit. But I want to announce some of the new meetings coming up. On Thursday, June 11th, next week, 8 o'clock, we have the EDF GRF meeting. And these are very informative information for your businesses, as well as what's happening in the state and government entities. Our June mixer is going to take place on also June 11th at 5:30 to 7. It's going to be another bingo. So please join us on June 11th if you have time that evening. We'd love to have you there to play a little bingo with us. And then on June 18th at 11 o'clock, we're going to have our June luncheon meeting. We'd love to have you there. And then our June installation board of directors meeting is going to be on another Zoom meeting at June 25th at 5:15 p.m. And my understanding is that we are going to, of course, be installing all of our new board members and board of directors. And we'd love to have you be with us on that as well, where Miss Dory's going to take over as the captain. So I'm looking forward to that myself.
Everybody come to the meeting.
We're all here for you. Yeah, we'll be there. And then hopefully in the fall, our plan is to have an actual installation party to bring in Dory and her new board. So look for all of those notices that are coming up. And again, thank you for trying to attend these meetings if you have a chance on your schedules. We appreciate it. All right. We are really ahead of schedule by 10 minutes, which is awesome. So we're going to go ahead and get started with our networking activity today, which is bingo. We have prizes donated today from Lucky's Coffee. We have Tacos Los Carnelas and IBRS. They have all donated prizes for today's bingo winners. So anyway, as we cruise into the future, one more month, I want to just remind you, you are the captain of your own ship. Don't let anyone else take over the wheel. And work like a captain, but play like a pirate this weekend. Have a good weekend.
So cute,
We'll see
Terri.
you next week.